O my soul, awake. It is in a nation's law that its people fight for its estate. All enemies of state will be treated in accordance with the admonished privileges such as befits the realm of the crown. We see from the time of King Henry VIII, 1509, that his interests were very much in front. The piano here, in its artist piece, is a product through the ages from its invention in Italy, and it is performed as such. Wherefore in brand is courage? None. Wherefore in destiny is victory? None. There is no guarantee that there is a future. And, as Henry Ford once said, the past and history is bunk. So from the time of Anne Boleyn, whose husband was to become King Henry VIII, we see entrails of the seas which so depicted upon this piano in art brings the first Mary Rose of 1545 sunk off the coast of Portsmouth, but not discovered again until the 14th of May 1966. We see skirmishes with Spain and Cadiz in the 1500s, and I'm not sure if this 1669 You know, there is a question over who rules the waves, that there was a song once. It was Hubert Parry's My Soul, There is a Country. And it went to the prevarications of the affirmed love of His Majesty King George V, that one of the works which Hubert Parry had written was in fact more suitable for the national anthem of that of Great Britain than its own known anthem, and goes to the effect, there is a country far beyond the sun, where stands a wing-milled sentry, all skillful in the wars, thereabout born. And I'm not sure if this 1669 is the theme on this piano, but that is Cadiz. That brings in the second Mary Rose, which was built in 1654, but first named the Maidstone, and renamed in 1660 as the Mary Rose, from the date of the restoration of the monarchy. This siege of 1669 sees the Mary Rose escape from Cadiz with 3 damaged masts, but return safely to England and to the realm of its crown. And then, when we get the glorious revolution which culminated in the loss of the throne of James II and the Seventh of England and of Scotland, to the time of the second invasion since the Norman of William and the Dutch army in Cornwall, 1688. We see eventually, through the death of Mary, 1694, to the death of William in 1702, the coronation coming to the throne of Queen Anne. And we see since her coming to power in the March of 1702, that by August and September, this country again was at Cadiz, that under the instigations of the first Duke of Marlborough, who was the ancestor, as you know, of Sir Winston Churchill. Another 100 years later, we, or yours, were fighting for whichever cause was your realm, or your state, or your emperor, or your general, or your monarch. I look at this piano and I say, Cadiz. Cadiz. There are many Cadiz, constant skirmishes with Cadiz. But you know there was only one Trafalgar, which was in 1805. In 1707, under the Acts of Union, Queen Anne celebrated the union of 2 realms, Scotland and England, who reigned until 1714 under the rule of law of Great Britain, England, Scotland and Ireland. That when we arrived finally under the reign of King George III in 1810, with the Cadiz and the siege of Cadiz in 1810, this was under Wellington. Is it not strange that we see 3 generals fighting over so small, seemingly, a place? So small a caption engraved upon a piano. It is so small in one respect that by Trafalgar, the more famous of 1805, but seen through the eyes of an empire, whether won or lost was Napoleon's decision or failure or destiny that gave birth to the future of the France as you more truly know it, as you were more part of that future. Or were your ancestors at the Somme in 1916, or at Amiens in some tank in 1918, that 100 days later would see on the 11th of the 11th, 1918, the victory? Or were your ancestors German, or were they Russian, or were they at Kursk? or had been at Moscow in 1 or 2 wars under Napoleon. Or are you just a piano player? It gives me great pleasure to, as pianist, perform for the artist who cannot speak. The scenes which are depicted are 3 generals: General Wellington, General the First Duke of Marlborough, and General Napoleon, the estate of the realm of the United Nations. It gives me great pleasure to play to you this grand piano in art, which skittles Trafalgar and heralds Cadiz as the true story of this your piano and of your truer nations. There is a country far beyond the sun, where stands a windmill sentry, all skillful in the wars. Thereabout born, there above noise and danger, sweet peace sits crowned with smiles, and one born in a manger commands the beauteous while. He is thy gracious friend, and, O my soul, awake, did in pure love descend to die here for thy sake. If thou canst give but thither, there grows that flower of peace, the rose that cannot wither, thy fortress and thy case. Leave then thy foolish ranges, for none can there rescue, for none can there secure, for one who never changes, but one who never changes, who never changes. If thou canst give that desert, there grows that flower of peace, the rose that cannot wither, thy fortress and thy case.